So what we're going to do is an aquatic theme today, and we have a big lotus flower. This mould is from IntoResin. You may have seen it in some of my previous videos. It is nothing short of spectacular. We have a tray, which is going to be our pond. This mould is from Moulds and Shapes. I've made some cabochon, little cabochons with just some ordinary little jewellery moulds, these sort of things. These can be bubbles, and some fish, which I also made myself. So here we go. First thing we're going to need, obviously, is some resin, and then we're going to need some colours and so forth. So in terms of colours and the actual resin, what I'm going to be working towards with this design is going to be that when it's up the right way, it will look like a pond. And there will be a lily at one end, there will be some bubbles, because I haven't made a lotus leaf mould yet. I will do. And then we will... Sorry, I've got some bits on my mould now. So we'll have the flower at one end, and we will have the fish swimming around. We'll have some of these which will look like bubbles coming up from the water rather than into it. But we are going to be working upside down, of course. Now, so the only things that need to go into this initially will be the fish upside down, because everything else I'm going to kind of be sticking on the top afterwards. So first job is to just get a bit of clear resin into here. The resin I am using is Apex High Gloss. It's I think of it as a good all-purpose sort of resin. You can go up to a moderate depth with it, but it's also good for thinner layers. It's sort of medium viscosity, and it cures in about 20 hours. Although for the purposes of what we're doing here, I should be able to progress quicker than that, because each layer, of course, doesn't have to be absolutely rock hard before I put in the next layer. In fact, I'll probably come and try and put the fish in while it's quite soft, so I can press them, they'll stay in place a little bit, because being upside down, they're flat bottomed, look, but being upside down they won't be. So I'm just going to stir this up slowly, trying to be good. I'm going to use the same resin for the flower, but first of all let's get this actual base done. And we're going to need some gravel, so I'll get that together as well. So this is a big chunky gravel that I've got. That some of it might go down into this crack, some might not. But the idea was to give like the edges of a pond type effect. So I'll go on and do that. Now I'm just a bit mindful of trying not to scratch the mould while I'm doing this. But these haven't got sharp edges, so fingers crossed. So to look a bit like a pond wall, a bit like a beach, you know, that sort of thing. But predominantly it needs to be in the groove around the edge, because we are, as I said, working upside down, and these will be on the surface if they end up going into the middle, won't they? Would have been easier to work with a finer gravel, yes, and there is some finer in amongst this, but I wanted a chunky look to the edges, so we'll see if it works. If it's a complete disaster, who knows. So all we're doing here then is just pouring it in. Now don't worry if there's a few bubbles in it. It degasses really, really well. The only thing I am not happy with is that appears to be one of my eyelashes or something. Don't want that in there now, do we? Ooh, gross. It's blooming still there, isn't it? There we go, got it. Right. I'm going to just let that settle. Hopefully it'll all go around the sides and it will start to settle down. I'm going to just give it a little bit of a help. I want to stick the rocks down, that's the main thing, because I don't want those moving really. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have a look at our flower. Now for anybody who hasn't seen this mould in my other video, just look at that. It is the softest, squishiest silicone I've ever seen for a mould. Yes, you can turn it out and turn it inside out and get your mica powders in there. Not completely, but you can probably flip it through enough to get your mica powders into the points and things like that. But what I'm actually going to do is do the colours by actually pouring into those points, because we can get into them. And as you can see, there's little splits in the top, or what is going to be the bottom, so that you can get in there to demould ridiculously easy for something of such detailed pattern and shape. And these just push back together. It just springs back together when you've got it full of resin, and then you end up with just this tiniest, well, to be honest, last time I used it I didn't get any, but first time I used it I got just a little excuse me, a little line of resin that I just snipped off from my scissors in that crack. But that makes it actually really easy to demould. So I'm going to get together two lots of resin now. We're going to have some coloured and we're going to have some clear. Okay, I've got some colours together, and they're from a bit of a variety of manufacturers. This is Ferrari Red from Just For You Online, and you know I'm a carve girl. Good name. Baby Pink. Don't know how much of that I'm going to use, but I'm thinking like a reddy pink is what I'm after. And for the centre, from this firm that's a lot of letters and numbers, we've got red copper and some yellow from LOTUS. So it's a bit of a variety because that's what I grabbed. Now I'm thinking like a pinky lily, and but not all the way through. Some of it will be clear, and then that yellow in the centre. So the first thing I'm going to do is mix up some of these colours. So this will be for the centre. Got plenty of these little pots, which I do reuse, people have asked. Once the resin's cured in it, I can wipe them out, but once the resin's totally cured in it, I can reuse them anyway. You don't necessarily see me do that, simply because I tend to crash out some clean ones for videos, because then you can see what I'm doing better. Right, let's get in the end of the petals first, and as I said, I think we're going to go for the red. Oop. But I want it to be a bit more pinky red, because water lilies aren't red generally. They're either a deep burgundy red or they're a pinky red. Or they're white or they're yellow or whatever. Yeah, and you can get the tropical water lilies that are like a deep blue. There we go, that's more of a pinky red. That's kind of what I was after, but I'm going to add a bit more pink. Now, let's see if we can get in there. What if we do it with a pipette? Would that be easier, do we think? The only thing is it takes a while to suck into the pipette, so while that's doing that I'll mix up the yellow and we'll do the same. See, look, it's a slow suck. Nobody comment on that, please. Right, so for the centre, and I'm only going to need a bit of this, but I thought the yellow, but then with a bit of this copper red metallic, which I don't quite know how it'll behave, but we'll see. Because I just wanted to muddy the yellow just slightly. More than that, possibly. Did I not shake the metallic enough? Let's give it another shake. Okay, pipette's as full as it's going to get, I think. You could, of course, decant it into needle tip bottles. I just find them a bit of a pain to clean afterwards, whereas these are disposable. I know that sounds wasteful, but they are. Right, let's try again. That's had a good shake now. Yeah, that's got a bit more colour to it. Now, it's metallic, so I don't know what quite it's going to do. That's better. Yeah, I just wanted to muddy the yellow down a bit. Right, let's start getting into here with these. So just a bit into each petal. Oops. I kind of want it to stay in the tips. Now, whether it'll blur and... Oh, that's because it didn't fill up. Whether it'll blur, I don't know. Right, while that's filling up, I'm going to just go and have a look. I'm going to tip my pot up, because I didn't mix much, did I? I'm just going to go and have a look at what sparkle I've got that might be quite subtle and nice. I've found this. It's called Sugar Plum, and it's actually UV reactive. It goes pinker in a UV light, and it's from Jam Pot Glitters. I think that might be quite nice because it's a bit pinky to start with. I was just thinking that might work. Of course, doing this is also a good way to make sure you get your resin down into the points. Yeah. No idea if it'll work though. So what I'm going to do is just tip this around now, because I want to make sure it's gone right into the ends. Do a bit of this. Right, now the yellow is the funny one. I'm wondering whether I should have done this with UV, because I don't think I really want that to spread too far, but we'll see. Almost looks like amber. Put a tiny bit more orange in with it. Anyway, so it wants a dead bug in it or something, doesn't it? Prehistoric one. Stop waffling, Tracy. Stop waffling. Yeah, anyway, so that is what it is. I'm going to have a clear up and I'll be back in, so we'll give it an hour maybe. That'll thicken up. A bit long, well, a bit less, don't know. I might put a heat lamp on it. The idea being then that the resin won't spread as much. So yeah, see you in a bit. Okay, this is starting to gloopy up now. Now the chunky stuff is really thickened up. Oh, and I've put some Marble Rainbow. I need to get a new bottle of this, but look, I couldn't help myself. This sparkly alcohol ink on the back of these. I just couldn't help myself. Anyway, this has got reasonably gloopy, so I'm going to put the fish in now, and then we're going to leave it again. I just wanted to show you what I meant about putting them in upside down. That probably sounds obvious, but you know, I thought I'd show you just in case you're thinking, what is she talking about? So the first thing I need to do is find some tweezers. And I shall be using these little cheap metal ones, because I'm hoping that we're going to test it with this one. Got to decide which end the water lily goes. This end, I think. Yeah, it's not as gloopy as I thought. Probably gloopy enough. Just to keep them upright. Don't want them kind of sinking and ending up the wrong way, you know, or anything like that. Oops. No, I haven't got gloves on, but as you can see, I'm not touching the resin. Yeah, that's probably gloopy enough, just to stop them floating about and tipping. And I'll come and check on them in another hour anyway, just to make sure they haven't tipped over. But I think that should be fine. There we are. So that was all I meant, just wait until it gets a bit gloopy so that they stay a little bit more in position. Like I said, I will come and check on them to make sure they haven't done anything stupid. Don't know. I'll come and check on them in a bit anyway. Right, see you in a bit. So what we're going to do now is start building up what will ultimately be the bottom of the pond. See, it's still really bendy. This is at the stage at which you'd be making a bowl if that was the project you were doing. So I'm going to keep it up this way because we have got other stuff still curing over here. It's all firming up nicely. Right, now because I've moved it, I've created wrinkles on the surface, but that does not matter. I'm going to get my gloves on and we're going to start, we're going to put in a layer. We're going to get a colour layer in next, I think, which will leave us with a final background layer because this bowl is not that deep, so we don't want to go too crazy. So let me get some resin ready and we will carry on. While I'm here, I've just got to show you this. Apex resins now come with pumps. Isn't that good? Because it makes it rather easy, especially for those who are just really don't like measuring like me. We can count the pumps out. It seems to be fairly accurate. Now, I don't know whether that's intentional or to be fully relied on, but I have checked it and so far it seems to be accurate enough. If you put it right out and back down again, you know how many pumps you want. Yeah, so nice touch. Well done just for you online with bringing in the pumps. So, going to mix this up. Now I'm thinking about colour. Now I'm going to want to start building some depth of colour now. So let's go for a touch of blue and which is good because there's a bit of blue in here for some reason. Touch of blue and a touch of black. How did that get in there? Ugh. Anyway, yeah, a touch of blue and a touch of black. Just to start giving it a bit of depth. Now I'm going to do that with some pigment. What we're trying to do is give it some depth so it looks a bit like a pond. It's going to be very stylised. It's not going to be one of my lovely naturalistic looking ponds. There we go. So we want like a sort of dull blue. That's what I'm going for. I'm just trying to make it look like it recedes. Now I am whisking this away far too fast, but you've seen it. It does degas fine. Don't do this. If you're stirring up your resin, you should be going like that for about 2 minutes, not like this. So do like I say, not like I do. I'm not always the best example, am I? Sorry. Okay, as you can see, that's already degassing. There's bubbles popping all over the place despite my frantic stirring. And this is only slightly tinted. We'll get most of our colour from the base. And that's enough, I think. Now what we're going to do next is, once this has got to that thick sticky stage, we're going to come in and put in the base. Okay, first job this morning, which is the next day, is to do a bit of demoulding. I'm still thinking about the back of this. It's going to end up just looking like a normal pond that I always make, isn't it? So I'm thinking of doing something different. Anyway, I did a bit of demoulding. There's the little crystal mould again. Isn't it gorgeous? I'm going to end up with so many of these because I keep chucking resin in that mould whenever I've got a bit of left over. Don't forget, I've got a 20% discount on the stuff from this firm, so grab your discount code down below. It's in the description of the video. Right, and that one I demoulded as well because I got a bit overexcited. And there we go, sparkly mould. More sparkle. Aren't they cute? Right, that's those done. And the amber colour does look a bit like amber, doesn't it? And I chucked some clear with the glitter in the back of this one. And a bit of that Marbu rainbow. Oh, nice. Anyway, those were all the bits that I wasn't meant to be making. Let's look at the bits that I was meant to be making. Let's clear a bit of space here. The water lily. Let's get this guy out. I'm dying to see this. I hope the colours have stayed roughly where I put them. It's looking promising so far. This mould is, as I said earlier, these moulds, these ones are all from IntoResin, and yeah, grab your 20% discount code for those. Oh yes, it worked! Look at that! And the colour did blend, but only a bit. More in some than others. See what I mean about that's where those splits are? You just, you know, you can just trim that straight off. Got most of it off my finger then, didn't I? But pair of cutters or scissors. I did it with scissors last time. These are little precision cutters. They're really handy for that. Done. Well, that ink, that Marbu ink I put in the bottom didn't do a lot, but isn't that gorgeous? So that's going to go on here, and we've got red fish. I'm still wondering what the heck to do with the background. First thing we're going to need is another layer of clear, I think, because the fish are still sitting up proud from it a little bit, and we are nearly up to the top. I am making things up as I go along again. Oh, I was going to put a bit of colour in this again, wasn't I? Right, so that's quite a bit of colour I've put in this time. Let's go for it. Yeah, that's a bit darker look. Quite a lot of black, just a touch of blue. Maybe that's how I leave it. Look, see, that's going to give some real depth, that is, isn't it? Maybe that's how I leave it. Because I have mixed up more of that than I thought. And because I put some clear in first, it's kind of gone a bit swirly. There's a thought. What about putting in some white? Actually, let's do that. Right, see, look, I told you I'll make it up as I go along. The LOTUS resin white because it's the first one to hand. Shake before use. I don't think this is a sinker. I think this is just a normal one. I want it reasonably opaque. So I probably should have used a paste. Oh, come into the craft room and make things up as you go along with Tracy. There, and I'm not going to mix it in terribly well either. I'm just going to do that so it ends up with some swirls. And let's just go with that, shall we? I wonder what this is going to do. Yeah, I think I'm going to like this. What I'm hoping is this will just look like, you know, swirly water on the bottom of the pond. I'm wishing I'd done the water lily in predominantly white now as well. Oh well. You know, with just a touch of the colours in the tips. Rather than clear, that's what I mean. But anyway, we shall see. There we are, look. How's that? Now, I don't know whether I probably should have waited till this thickened up a bit, because I bet that won't stay like that. Or it could even be another dark blue coat, because that's not going to be very, very blue, is it? So, yeah. Still thinking, but I'm getting there now. It's just what to do with that back. Right, I'll shut up now. I'll see you later. See you in probably about 3 or 4 hours when that's firmed up. That'll be enough to put the final coat on. See you later. As this appears to be still runny, let's do a bit more of that. It's a lot runnier than I thought. I thought it was firming up, and it isn't so much. So let's do a bit more of that. And do this again. Oh yeah, look, it's gone. It's got a surface film to it, but that's about it. Oh yeah, that's a weird effect, isn't it? Yeah. Oh yeah, it's dried in some areas, well, cured up a bit, and not in others. Do we want it a bit more blue? Maybe. But just go straight in with blue this time, not black blue. Just a dot. I'm just thinking just to bring a bit more colour through the layers. Once it's a thin layer. There we are. Gosh, I'm going to have a lot of clearing up after this. It's usually small makes that I'm messier at. No. I haven't got my messy tray out either, so I keep putting my stick down onto my mat. The mat's going to be a right mess. Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a clean-up job, isn't it? Okay, that should be done now, and we're just going to drizzle that over the back again. Just to mess with that white I've just put on. I'm going to keep going in that direction this time. How are we doing? Just before I go into the unmoulding these, I got a resin pen and went around the edges of these two and over the centres, and it's champagne coloured one. Isn't that nice? That's giving it a whole new extra something. The main thing is to get this out of the mould. Now the back looks lovely. Some of the pebbles are standing proud a little bit. Well, that one is, and that one is. Doesn't matter, because I'm going to put little rubber feet on this anyway, so I'm not going to fret about that. Looks like I've got a little bit of tidying to do around the edges where I've got a little bit of overspill. That's okay. You can trim those off afterwards, not a problem. Right, shall we do this? Oh, it's worked! Look at that! I've got like a water effect. Oh, I like it. And the pebbles just set it off nicely, don't they? So let's mix this up. Now what I'm going to do is just put it over the surface, and we're going to sit the pebbles into it and the flower. So whilst this is going to be still a usable tray, it's only going to be part of it usable, but it's going to be very decorative. Okay, so we're just going to pour a thin coat in here. I'm going to go as thin as I can because I don't want to lose the tray effect. You know, it isn't that deep a tray, so. Now I think the flower wants to be, if it goes that way, then it kind of goes with the shape of the bowl, the tray rather, and I'll push it up into the corner as much as I can. And then we're going to put some of these in, and we're going to push them up near to the flower. And I want different sizes, so let's have a big one around the side here. Because I don't want it to all be the same. Now I'm going to keep them all at this end though, because that's the end that's not going to be terribly usable because there's a dirty great big flower sat in it. But yeah, this is my idea, that we're going to end up with a nice little bubbly trinket tray. Like so. Yeah, I think we might leave it at that actually. I think that's enough. Should I put one of these tiny ones in just in case you can see it? Just about. There. Now, I think that's done. I'm back on this table that isn't 100% level, so I'm going to get this little bit of cardboard again and put under this side of it. Wants to go under this end. Really should be putting this on my levelling table, shouldn't I? But that'll be, I know that's levelled it enough. I'm going to put the edges on this flower because, well, why not? I've decided I'm not using the pink one. I'm back to plan A with the red one. But look at that final detail. Doesn't that make a difference? Sadie, if you're watching, these are all heading towards your shop soon. For anybody who doesn't know, I donate most of my creations, if they're not gifts or something, I donate them to a charity shop called Ahead of Wellbeing in Redditch. I think we're going to do like an event there sometime. You know, I'll make an appearance and pretend to be some sort of celebrity. That could be fun, couldn't it? Another thing I want to do with these at some point, let me know if you think this is a good idea. Do you want to see me make some of these into like a water feature? Because I think that could be fun. There we are. So, resin edging pens, people. Got a full set of these. There's champagne, there's blush, as well as your usual bronze, silver, copper, you know, all that sort of thing. There's blush, and which is like almost like and there's like a rose gold colour, and this champagne one. They're lovely. I'm very keen on them. I might even do a bit round this. I don't know yet. Anyway, gonna leave that to cure now. It's gonna take a while, so because it's such a thin sheet of resin, just going to spray it, make sure I've got any bubbles knocked out, and I will see you for some photos at the end. And yeah, hope you like this one. If you have, and if you'd like to see more of this sort of thing, I've got videos coming out at least one a week. Some weeks it's 2, some weeks it's 3, some weeks I go a bit mad. So if anybody else would like to see any more of my harebrained schemes and making it up as I go along type videos, do hit the like and subscribes for me. They're down the bottom below the video. You know what to do. Just click some buttons. Stick some comments in for me as well. What do you think? Because it's a bit different, isn't it? A bit random. Let me know what you think of it. What else could I do with this flower? I need some ideas, people. Right, I'll see you soon. Take care, everyone. Bye.